so we got this mount welded on here. We got the back mount with the 2 bolts, and then we have this front mount. So that front mount uses these plastic or rubber bushings that just pop on like this. And then the Cherubi's tank has these C-shape little hooks that slide on and hook on. And then the whole tank drops down on this back bracket. So what I realized was if I put, I think it's just the Cherubi's tank itself. So if I put this thing on, it's probably gonna be hard to tell, but there is like a significant gap between those bushings in the tank, and it just seems like it could rock and fall off. So the plan is to take, I actually had a guy at my work, he's got a 3D printer that can do TPU. I can't do TPU on mine, but I just printed this, a little squishy, and if you can see, it's probably about a 1/4 inch wider, maybe an 1/8 inch. So just run these 3D printed bushings and it should be perfect. Gas tank bolts right on, not going anywhere. Looks pretty straight, good enough for me. New bushings fit pretty good. Started working on the wheels, just stripped the old tires. These wheels have seen better days. Very corroded, but this thing is a lot to build. Parts add up, so let's just run them, see what happens. Same thing with the back wheel. Lots of corrosion. This is a D606 with plenty of life, but I did notice some dry rot. Yeah, I don't know if the camera can see that, but this thing has cracks in it. So that kind of sucks, but probably have to get some new tires. As I mentioned before, I got a bunch of DRZ400 Supermoto parts, including the suspension. And it's not really, I guess, as aggressive as the E model. There's a little less travel, but everything's in really good shape. And this thing's going to be more of an adventure bike, so actually kind of won't hurt too bad to lower it a little bit, make it a little more comfortable. So I just got the SM swing arm on. All the bearings were in really good shape, so I just greased everything and put it on. There's some differences with it. The rear brake mount is different, but I have the whole rear brake setup. I think the rear rotor is actually bigger, so I'll have to find a new rotor. And I have the, this is the DRZ SM shock, so I'm going to be running that. Like I said, a little less travel. And then over here we got the forks. So you do get the inverted forks, so a little different than the old school conventional forks on the E model, but it is less travel, but I think it'll work pretty good. And then I'll actually have some time. I actually want to run the conventional forks. I just think it looks pretty cool, kind of the old school style. And from what I know, these conventional forks on a DRZ are like the biggest conventional forks ever made. I think it's like a 49 millimeter tube going into it, so this thing is beefy. And I kind of just want to see how good you can actually get them. So So here's the SM or S model subframe. It's different than the E model. It's basically this section out here is added on. I wanted to run this just to be able to add a rear rack and not just mount everything to the plastic fender. But I'm going to take a little weight off it. This helmet mount, or helmet lock, don't even have the key for it, so cut that off. There we go, no more helmet mount. Getting some progress done on the bike. Got the subframe mounted, threw the airbox in, just trying to clean everything up when I put it together. All the suspension linkage has been put in, all re-greased. I have the Supermoto front end mounted. Threw the handlebars on. These flex bars I'm gonna run. And just putting on piece by piece. Seeing it's going together quick, so pretty good. So I added the SMS model thermostat housing, and I put a thermostat in there. So this is an E model, doesn't typically have that, but just bolts right on, you can pop a thermostat in it. And now I can run the S radiators. So when I'm running the SM swing arm, I don't have a rear axle for it. And I went on eBay to buy one, and I realized they were about $130 for a rear axle, so I don't really understand why they're that expensive. But here's the stock E model axle. It had this kind of like snail adjuster thing, that's what I'm calling it. This was welded on to the axle. So if you can see, I just cut it off. I checked the length before, and same length. So obviously, I know it's the same axle diameter because you can swap wheels between all the different versions. But so what I did was I cut that off, and it might be hard to tell, but I welded on some extra material, basically made some flats on the axle so that I can drop into this axle block here, and it just drops in and can kind of lock it in and tighten the wheel. So cheaping out, that's what I'm doing with this project. One of the next steps I have is to tackle the wiring. You can actually see this is the E wiring harness. It is very compact. It's actually quite nice. It doesn't have much to it. But previously the bike had this like Tusk dual sport kit, which I've used on several bikes. It's not too bad. It has, I think a lot of companies use like the same switch. So I'll be using this, but I'm gonna try to like integrate it in as best I can. Try to keep it clean. So we'll see where that takes me. So here we go. I'll give a little bit of a recap on what we did. Right now the gas tank is mounted. Yet again, this is an E model frame, but this is an S or a Supermoto gas tank, so I had to weld on mounts to fit it. The radiators, one of them's on, the other one's going on soon, so these are the S model radiator with the fan. That's why I ran this gas tank. But everything bolts right up. I got the S model swing arm, that's mounted. So next step, put the wiring harness on, just keep bolting parts on it. But the next thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to 3D scan the front of the bike here, and that will let me get started with the rally tower. I already started, I already 3D scanned it with the E model forks, but since I kind of went a different route and switched to the SM front end, it's going to be all different mounting. But it should, the rally tower itself will be the same, but the mounting will be different. So hopefully I'll show some stuff on that. That's what I'm kind of excited about. So stick around and you'll see some progress soon. See ya.